Have you ever wondered what secrets lie just beyond the edge of sleep, where the veil thins and whispers of eternal peace drift through? Imagine a mind-blowing revelation. Those who have briefly crossed over return not with fear, but with deep sleep wisdom that cradles the soul in perfect calm. Welcome to Deep Sleep Wisdom, the most relaxing near-death experience. Facts to fall asleep. Tonight we'll explore those gentle truths guiding you softly into dreams. If these soothing reflections ease your mind, hit subscribe on our channel for more nightly serenity. Let's begin with the light that ever calls your name. Hey, come closer and picture this softest light that ever called your name, not bright or blinding, but warm and personal, like it's been waiting just for you. I remember hearing about Sarah, a mum who flatlined during surgery. She told her sister later, "This light appeared, gentle as candle glow, whispering my name inside my heart." It felt alive, knowing her completely. You know that feeling when dawn creeps through your curtains, promising a new day? Imagine it wrapping your whole being. Another guy, Tom, a builder, who had a bad fall, shared with his crew. The light spoke soft like an old friend, saying, "Come rest here a while." Studies from folks like Dr. Sampania show many describe this personal glow, not scary, but deeply inviting. Think of your own tired nights, stress from work, worries about tomorrow, fading in that call. A kid named Lily, after a fever scare, drew it for her teacher. The light said my name nice and quiet, like Mommy's goodnight. The softness touches everything, melting doubts, filling with hope. One survivor, a teacher named Mark, said, "It called without words, promising peace I'd craved forever." No force, pure tenderness. As you unwind tonight, let that image settle. A soft light calling your name gently. Feel its warmth now easing you deeper. Listen, have you ever felt a presence that knows you better than you know yourself, seeing every hidden corner yet loving you completely? That's the deep wisdom many share, a knowing that feels like home. Take old Mr. Harris, a farmer who coded in his barn. He woke telling his grandkids, "This presence was there, knowing my whole life, the good harvests, the hard winters, but holding me with kindness anyway." No judgment, just acceptance. Dr. Pim van Lommel studied thousands. Most feel this understanding presence, transforming fear. Relatable, right? Like that one person who sees your flaws and stays. A young nurse, Emily, after her accident, shared with friends, "It knew my exhaustion from long shifts, my guilt over short patience, but whispered inside, 'You've done well.'" Kids get it pure. Little Ben told his dad, "A knowing light person said hi and understood my bad dreams." The connection heals old wounds. One veteran felt it say, "Your battles shaped strength, not brokenness." No religion forced, it's universal. As night quiets, imagine that presence here. Breathe it in, let it soothe hidden hurts. Folks return changed, kinder to themselves, more open. Like they forgive past mistakes, live lighter. So relax, know a presence waits, seeing you fully with endless love. All right, feel those waves of love so deep they wash away every worry, soaking you in acceptance that leaves nothing lacking. It's the core wisdom brought back, that profound flood making you whole. Laura, a teacher who nearly drowned, recounted, "This love rolled in, warmer than any hug, saying you're enough, every part. No earning it, freely given." Researchers like Dr. Jeffrey Long analyze thousands. Most feel this infinite affection reshaping them. A dad, Mike, post-heart scare, said to his wife, "Babe, it was love fixing every regret in seconds, made our tough years seem small." Think of insecurities vanishing in that wave. Even skeptics melt. A lawyer named Claire admitted, "That love knew my sharp edges, embraced tighter." Kids sense it true. Young Noah beamed. It felt like ocean hugs forever. It lingers, sparking empathy. One woman, a busy doctor, shared, "I listen better now because that love's for everyone. No walls, just oneness. As you breathe slow tonight, let that wave approach. Feel deep love holding you close. It's always there, steady and complete." Imagine floating gently above the body's quiet storm, watching from calm while chaos stays far below, like viewing rain from a warm window. Ben, a climber who fell hard, said, "I rose up seeing medics below, but felt only peace, like drifting on still water. No panic, pure detachment." The Near-Death Research Foundation notes over half report this, verifying details impossible otherwise. A grandma, Rose, during her procedure, shared, "Hovered above, hearing doctors chat casual, serene as floating in my old porch swing. Relatable to zoning out tired, amplified to bliss. Even trauma fades. Wreck, survivor. Alex said, above the mess I floated unbothered, wrapped in quiet. Kids call it fun. Boy Scout Tim told friends, flew like bird over hospital, happy and light, no pain. It hints consciousness beyond body, easing end fears. A professor who experienced it said that calm proved we're more than flesh. As sleep tugs tonight, picture floating now, above daily storms in deep calm. Let it lift you softly to rest. Think of reuniting with beloved pets, waiting with bright eyes and wagging tails, young and full of life, ready for that joyful greeting you've missed. Joan, who lost her dog, Max, years ago, slipped away in hospital and felt a familiar wet nose nudge her hand. "It was Max," she told her daughter tearfully, "bounding like a puppy, no grey, no limp, tail wagging crazy." He jumped up, paws on her chest, licking her face with that same enthusiastic love. Joan buried fingers in his fur, breathing the scent she'd grieved daily. A veteran named Robert met his shepherd buddy running across sunlit grass. "He tackled me gentle," Robert shared quietly, rolling like old playtime. Guilt from euthanasia vanished in Buddy's forgiving eyes. Even cats appear. Margaret felt her tabby whiskers jump into arms, purring loud. "First soft as kitten days," she smiled. They curled up in grass, whiskers kneading like couch times. Children see it innocently. Little Emma drew heaven full of every lost pet, hamster, goldfish, bunny hopping happily. "They all came running," she told Mom, "said they missed hugs." Dr. Atwater collected hundreds. Pets radiate unconditional love, guiding further or back. One woman felt her horse nuzzle, communicating thanks. The reunions feel natural, overwhelming relief and joy. Pets appear healthy, personalities shining, heart-to-heart communication. As you relax, think of animals you've loved. Their trusting eyes, soft fur. Picture them waiting, ready with enthusiastic greeting. Feel their gentle presence now, watching over your sleep. Imagine the moment family members who've gone ahead wait for you, arms open in timeless welcome, their presence filling every empty space with familiar love. When retired teacher Margaret reached the light after her quiet evening collapse, her husband, who'd passed 15 years earlier, stood there first, looking exactly as he did on their honeymoon. Strong shoulders, that crooked smile she'd teased him about for decades. "Margaret, my love," he said inside her heart, voice warm as fresh coffee on Sunday mornings. "We've been waiting, watching every step." Then her parents appeared beside him, younger than she'd ever known them, her mother's eyes crinkling with the same pride from school plays. They wrapped her in hugs that felt solid and endless, every regret about time lost, dissolving instantly. A young father named Luis, after his motorcycle accident, saw his sister lost to childhood illness running toward him across soft grass. "Luis," she called, joyfully. voice clear as the day they'd played hide and seek. She looked 12 again, pigtails flying, tackling him in laughter that healed every birthday he'd spent missing her. They sat together reviewing old family photos in light form, tears turning to smiles as unspoken sorrows cleared completely. Grandparents often greet first with special tenderness. One woman met her grandmother who'd raised her after parents divorced. "Child," she said softly, "you turned out stronger than I dreamed." They walked hand in hand through peaceful fields, grandmother sharing stories of ancestors the woman had never heard, filling lifelong feelings of rootlessness. Even strained relationships transform instantly. A man estranged from his father felt only love when he appeared. "Son, I see it all now," his dad said quietly. "I'm proud despite my mistakes." They talked for what felt like years, every harsh word forgiven, every missed chance understood. Children who've passed appear growing healthily and joyfully. Parents meet babies as happy toddlers running into arms, shouting familiar nicknames. One mother played endlessly with her daughter lost young, laughter echoing in golden light. Time stretches generously for deep conversations, long embraces, memories reviewed with nothing but love and understanding. No unfinished business lingers, everything seen clearly, accepted fully. Many hear gentle assurances, "We never truly left, we're closer than you know." People return carrying that family warmth into daily life, calling relatives more often, mending old silences, cherishing gatherings. Tonight, picture your own loved ones waiting with open arms and familiar smiles. Feel their timeless welcome reaching across any distance. You are never alone. Love connects eternally. Let that gentle family embrace hold you softly as sleep comes. Picture gardens that bloom forever in gentle colors, alive with peace that makes your heart recognize home immediately. When Gardener Rose reached the light after her stroke, she stepped into gardens more exquisite than any she'd tended on earth. Flowers opened in colors beyond naming, she described softly to her daughter. Petals glowing from within, releasing scents that held every happy memory of digging soil with your father. Grass felt like velvet under bare feet, trees heavy with fruit tasting of childhood summers and quiet anniversaries. A young mother named Grace found herself walking paths lined with blooms that shifted hues gently as she passed. "Roses perfect as our wedding bouquet," she whispered to her husband later, "but deeper reds, softer pinks, no thorns anywhere." Her deceased grandmother waited on a stone bench, handing her a single bloom whose fragrance carried every Sunday dinner shared. Children describe endless delight. Little Noah drew pictures for months. Heaven gardens have rainbow trees and flowers that sing when you touch them. Fruit tasted like ice cream and hugs, he told his parents seriously. The gardens feel personally created for each visitor. One man found orchards heavy with peaches from his boyhood farm, another quiet reading nooks with benches where loved ones sat waiting patiently. Crystal ponds reflected perfect memories, lotus flowers opening slowly in rhythm with calm breathing. No weeds ever grow, no seasons turn harsh, eternal gentle spring with perfect temperature, perfect light. Birds with jewel-toned feathers sang melodies that healed old sorrows quietly. Many walked barefoot, feeling Earth's loving energy rising through souls. Some discovered gazebos for family gatherings, others secluded spots perfect for solitary reflection under flowering arches. The overwhelming feeling is utter belonging and recognition. One woman said quietly, "It felt like the garden had been waiting patiently for me my whole life, like I'd finally come home to stay." People return appreciating earthly gardens more deeply, planting flowers with new reverence, pausing to smell roses longer. Tonight, Imagine stepping into your own forever blooming garden. Feel soft grass welcoming your feet. Breathe sweet eternal air. Hear distant water singing gently. Let deeper colors surround and soothe you completely. This beauty waits patiently, ready to hold you whenever the time comes. Imagine walking beside a river made of living light, its gentle flow singing soft songs of love that carry away every burden. When young veteran Mark reached the light after his battlefield injury, he found himself strolling along a river unlike any water he'd known, flowing golden white light that moved constantly, yet remained perfectly still. It made the softest sound, he described quietly to his therapist, like 1,000 kind voices humming together in perfect harmony. Banks lined with luminous flowers leaned gently toward the current, as if listening. His grandfather, who'd served in another war, walked beside him barefoot, hand resting lightly on his shoulder with familiar, steady strength. A mother named Isabel saw the same river after childbirth complications nearly took her. It sparkled with every gentle color imaginable, she whispered to her partner through happy tears. Warm white gold mostly, but threads of rose and blue weaving through. She waded in slowly up to her ankles, feeling waves of love wash away recent pain and older fears about motherhood. The river often appears as a gentle boundary between realms. People feel drawn toward it, but never forced or rushed. Some dip hands in and feel happy. Memories flow through fingers. First steps, wedding vows, quiet moments of connection. Others see future glimpses of peace reflected softly on its surface. Children describe it with pure wonder. Little Jacob told his mother excitedly, "The shiny river sang my name soft and promised I'd see it again someday." He wasn't afraid returning because of that loving promise. Walking its banks brings perfect serenity and release. No destination pressure, just peaceful strolling hand in hand with loved ones when they appear. The air feels alive yet deeply calming. Many notice complete weightlessness, steps making no sound on glowing ground. Tonight, imagine yourself beside that tranquil river of light. Feel warm flow moving gently beside you. Hear its soft song of love. Let it carry away today's worries completely. Walk slowly if you wish, breathe deeply, knowing this river flows eternally, waiting patiently to welcome you home when ready. Picture music that soothes without a single word, layers of perfect harmony rising and falling like the universe's own lullaby, cradling your soul. When pianist David reached the light after his overdose crisis, ordinary silence gave way to music, beginning softly, all around him. It came from everywhere and nowhere, he described quietly to his support group. Layer upon layer of voices and instruments beyond anything I'd ever played or heard. Every note carried healing directly into places he'd numbed for years. His young daughter, lost to illness, stood nearby, smiling, her voice woven beautifully through the greater harmony. A factory worker named Sophia, who'd never considered herself musical, heard it after collapsing from exhaustion. It was like every song that ever comforted me, she whispered to her family. Lullabies from Mama, hymns from church, even radio tunes from happier times, all lifted higher and woven together perfectly. Colors pulsed gently with each note. Her light body resonated in complete peace for the first time. Many describe the music communicating profound truths without language, healing deep grief, revealing life's gentle meaning, promising eternal reunion. One man said softly, "It told my whole story in melody, every sorrow turning to beauty note by note." Another heard his late wife's voice, singing their wedding song perfectly young and clear. Children hear it with pure delight. 9-year-old Sophie told nurses excitedly, "Heaven's music sparkled inside me and made my heart dance happy." She hummed entirely new melodies for weeks afterward. The sound heals on direct contact. A woman carrying childhood trauma felt dark memories lift completely as music washed through her being. Each rising note was forgiveness given freely, she said quietly. Some recognize loved ones' unique voices, adding personal threads to the celestial choir, young and strong again. The music adjusts perfectly, gentle as single flute when needed, grand as cosmic orchestra when the soul expands, always exactly right. Many try recreating fragments after returning, but say earthly instruments fall short of its multi-dimensional depth. Tonight, imagine this wordless music beginning softly around you. Let perfect harmonies rise gently, cradling your mind and heart completely. Feel notes of pure love vibrating through every part of you, promising such beauty exists eternally. Let the universe's lullaby carry you peacefully into deep, restorative dreams. Imagine colors softer and more alive than any dream, hues that breathe and shift gently, carrying feelings of peace directly into your heart. When artist Rachel reached the light after her severe reaction, the first sensation beyond fading pain was color exploding softly around her. "I opened whatever I was seeing with," she described quietly to her gallery friends. "And there were shades beyond anything on my palette. Blues deeper than midnight ocean, yet warm like sunrise, greens pulsing with life that made earthly forests seem faded photographs." She stood in a vast meadow where every blade of grass carried its own tiny, shifting rainbow, flowers opening in colors without earthly names that sang visually as they bloomed. A mechanic named Frank, who'd never cared much for art, came back, changed completely. "I tried mixing those colors on canvas when I recovered," he laughed softly to his wife, "but my paints looked dull as mud." He described spheres of light floating nearby, each one a different impossible shade, trailing sparkles that became new hues midair. Violets holding every sunset memory, reds radiating pure joy, whites so bright yet soft they soothed rather than blinded. Even practical people feel transformed. The accountant named Diane said quietly, "I'm all numbers usually, but those colors made me cry happy tears. A soft rose that smelled like my childhood garden, silver threads ringing like quiet bells inside me." She saw life's happiest moments projected in bursts of specific colors. First kiss in warm amber, children's births in bright coral that pulsed gently. Children capture it with pure wonder. 8-year-old Noah kept insisting excitedly, "Heaven has the best crayons ever that dance when you color." He layered every crayon wildly in drawings, trying desperately to show shiny, happy colors that move and hug you. The colors aren't mere beauty. They feel alive and aware, communicating love directly to the soul without need for words. One woman touched a tree with bark swirling teal and amber, feeling waves of complete peace flow through her fingers into her heart. Another saw regrets fade as dark shades brighten gently into light. No dullness ever appears, no clashing hues, every shade pure, vibrant, yet perfectly harmonious in ways earthly eyes rarely witness. People return seeing ordinary colors with new depth, pausing longer at sunsets, noticing subtle shades in flowers and skies they'd overlooked before. Tonight, let those living colors begin blooming softly behind your closed eyes. Imagine a sky richer than dawn, flowers opening in impossible gentle hues, light wrapping you in warm, breathing rainbows. Feel the deep joy those colors carry washing gently through you completely. Such beauty exists eternally, waiting patiently to greet you in perfect vibrancy someday. Let it fill your dreams with living, loving light. Picture the life review unfolding, not as judgment, but as a gentle, loving mirror, showing your journey with complete compassion and understanding. When Mark reached the light after his sudden heart event at work, his life began to replay around him like a warm, living film he could step into. "I relived moments fully," he told his wife quietly in the hospital, voice steady with new peace. "But I felt everyone's perspective at once." When he saw himself snapping impatiently at their teenage son during a stressful week, he experienced his own exhaustion, but also the boy's hurt confusion, and waves of compassion rose for both father and son. No condemnation came, only deep insight into growth. Those small, often forgotten kindnesses, staying late to mentor a struggling colleague, calling his aging mother every Sunday without fail, glowed brightest, revealing quiet ripples he'd never imagined touching lives far beyond his own. A nurse named Susan experienced hers, surrounded by tender, supportive light. "Every time I'd gone the extra mile for a frightened patient," she shared softly with her team, "those moments expanded warmly, showing how a held hand or extra minute of listening eased fear in ways that echoed forward." Harder choices weren't criticized. She felt the overwhelming fatigue or fear driving them, met only with gentle forgiveness. It was like the kindest friend saying, "You've always done your best with what you knew." Many feel both giver and receiver simultaneously in key moments. A businessman who'd prioritized work over family felt his wife's quiet loneliness during missed anniversaries, but also her enduring love and pride in his efforts to provide. He woke reaching for her hand first, finally able to express gratitude and sorrow with full heart understanding. Children have beautifully simple reviews. Little Grace told her parents wide-eyed, "I saw when I shared toys, it made pretty golden sparkles everywhere. When I was grumpy, it felt cloudy, but warm light hugged me and said, 'Try loving more next time.'" She became noticeably kinder afterward, offering comfort naturally. No harsh scoring or punishment ever appears, just profound, loving clarity that dissolves regrets completely. One veteran relived battlefield decisions with self-compassion he'd sought unsuccessfully for decades through therapy. The review often ends with quiet encouragement. "Keep growing in love. You've done beautifully so far." People return profoundly lighter about past mistakes, far more grateful for ordinary days and small connections. Tonight, breathe. Knowing any review of your life would be wrapped completely in tenderness, every effort seen clearly, every heart celebrated gently. Let that compassionate light hold all your yesterdays softly as you drift into peaceful sleep. Imagine every pain, every ache simply falling away the moment you're free of your body, leaving perfect freedom and ease in its place. When elderly Arthur, who'd lived with severe arthritis for 30 years, had his heart attack while gardening, the constant burning in his joints vanished completely. "I'd forgotten what it felt like to move without fire in every knuckle," he told his daughter softly from his hospital bed, flexing fingers that still ached earthly, but remembering perfect relief. "Suddenly I stretched tall, danced even like the young man who courted your mother." He floated above, watching medics work frantically, feeling only profound peace where crushing chest pain had gripped moments before. Cancer patients describe the release most movingly. Maria, whose body had been ravaged by tumors spreading everywhere, said quietly to her family, "All the burning, the deep bone exhaustion, gone in an instant. I felt strong again, whole, breathing freely without machines." She explored beautiful realms completely unhindered, meeting loved ones who showed her gardens and rivers of light. Even sudden, violent trauma fades immediately. Young athlete Tyler, whose body was badly broken in a climbing fall, hovered completely pain-free above the rescue scene. "I knew down there it was serious," he shared with friends during recovery. Broken bones, internal bleeding, but where I was, perfect comfort, like floating in warm, healing water that erased every hurt. Children feel it with pure wonder and relief. 5-year-old Mia, suffering intense treatment side effects from leukemia, returned beaming to her parents. "No more hurts anywhere," she told them simply. "I ran and jumped and played free like before I got sick." Her remaining months were noticeably calmer, less medication needed for pain. Chronic pain sufferers find special, profound grace in the release. A woman with decades of fibromyalgia danced weightlessly in light, every muscle relaxed completely for the first time since diagnosis. "Pure, perfect bliss," she whispered, to support groups afterward. Another with lifelong migraines saw clearly without throbbing pressure behind eyes. Emotional pain lifts simultaneously, deep grief, anxiety, shame dissolving in the loving atmosphere surrounding everything. Many feel their true, unburdened selves emerging fully. Some return to earthly bodies still carrying pain but profoundly transformed. The vivid memory of perfect ease helps them endure with new perspective, knowing suffering is temporary. Tonight, let every tense spot in your body begin to relax completely. Imagine all aches lifting gently like morning mist, revealing your true light essence, whole, free, painless beneath. That perfect ease waits patiently beyond, ready to welcome you home when the time comes. Feel this now, held in warmth that never lets go, an embrace of infinite peace wrapping you completely like the safest place you've ever known. When Laura reached the light after nearly bleeding out post-surgery, the first sensation was this all-encompassing warmth holding her from every direction. "It wasn't arms exactly," she described quietly to her husband in recovery, "but deeper, presence everywhere, knowing every frightened thought, every regret about time with our kids. Lifelong anxiety about not being enough melted away completely." Her deceased father seemed woven into the greater warmth, adding familiar comfort of his old wool sweater hugs from childhood. A soldier named James, who'd carried hypervigilance since combat, felt the same profound holding during clinical death. "I'd never truly relaxed," he admitted softly in therapy years later. "Always scanning for threats, but there, total safety, held by something vast and gentle." The embrace communicated perfect acceptance, erasing shame from actions taken in war's chaos. Mothers especially relate it to holding newborns, but magnified infinitely and eternally. One said quietly, "It was every loving hug I'd ever given or received all at once, forever. No ending." Another felt her miscarried babies safe and growing within the greater embrace, tiny heartbeats syncing perfectly. Children describe sinking into it naturally. Little Ben told his father simply, "Big warm cloud hugged me tight and said I'm home now. No more bad dreams." He became the child who hugged everyone longer. The peace filling the embrace isn't empty or cold. It's rich, alive, pulsing gently like a cosmic heartbeat. Worries about money, relationships, health appear laughably small from within it. Time loses all meaning. Breathing isn't needed, yet every inhale draws in more profound peace. Some feel guided deeper into the embrace for rest, others content to simply be held. Messages arrive silently. You are loved beyond measure. Everything unfolds perfectly. Rest here completely. People return carrying fragments of that infinite holding, calmer in daily chaos, less reactive to stress, more trusting of life's flow. Chronic tension eases noticeably from shoulders and jaw. Tonight, feel infinite peace beginning to gather softly around you. Let warm light cradle every weary part, tired mind, tender heart, aching body. Sink completely into the embrace that waits patiently, always ready to hold you fully and forever. Imagine glimpsing a golden city shining just beyond the horizon, more welcoming and beautiful than any place you've ever dreamed of calling home. When Nurse Emily reached the light after collapsing from exhaustion in the corridor, she saw it across a vast, peaceful plain bathed in soft glow. "Towers and spires of living gold," she described quietly to stunned colleagues. "Not cold metal, but warm, glowing gently from within, light pouring softly from every window like invitations." Faint music drifted on the breeze, harmonious and comforting. Her grandmother, who'd raised her, waved happily from a balcony high up, looking 30 again with the same apron from baking days. A teenager named Jordan approached the same city after his overdose crisis. "Distance didn't matter the way it does here," he whispered to his counselor. "Every step closer filled me with deeper belonging." Walls shifted colors gently, gold to rose to pearl white, all radiating pure welcome. Family members he'd lost stood near wide gates, smiling encouragement, pets playing happily in golden streets below. Many see loved ones on walls or along avenues, calling joyfully with familiar voices. One woman recognized childhood friends lost young, now grown radiant in light bodies, shouting her name happily across the distance. Another man saw his dog waiting patiently by a fountain of liquid light. The city often appears across gentle boundaries like rivers or bridges of light, never frightening, always inviting peaceful approach. Some draw closer, seeing parks inside, fountains flowing liquid light, gatherings of beings singing in perfect harmony. Details vary beautifully, some crystalline elegance, others warm organic curves, but always radiating complete harmony and belonging. Children draw it with excited crayons. 7-year-old Emma's picture showed God's shiny city with rainbow roads and everyone holding hands happily. "That's where all happy lives forever," she insisted seriously to her teacher. "No shadows exist inside. Light emanates from every surface and being. Streets feel soft underfoot, air sweet and alive with gentle energy. Many hear their own names sung softly by distant choirs as they near. Most are turned back lovingly before entering fully, but the glimpse removes fear of death completely. Returnees often live more kindly afterward, less attached to material things, more focused on relationships. Tonight, picture that golden city glowing softly on your inner horizon. Feel its warm, patient invitation reaching across whatever distance remains. Know a place waits where light is home, love is breath, and you are expected with deepest joy. Let its gentle glow illuminate your dreams completely as you drift into safest, most peaceful sleep. Picture quiet conversations with beings of gentle light, wise and kind, feeling like they've known your soul forever, and speak straight to your heart with endless patience. When Karen reached the light, after her aneurysm burst unexpectedly, 3 figures waited in soft glow. "They didn't have ordinary faces," she described quietly to her family, "but I felt their loving attention completely." One stepped closer, knowledge flowing gently. No spoken words at first, only deep understanding. She poured out fears about leaving her children too soon, and reassurance came as warm waves. "You've given them roots strong enough to grow beautifully. Trust the love you've planted." Karen felt layers of maternal guilt peel away, replaced by quiet confidence she'd done enough. A teenager named Josh met a single being after his dirt bike crash left him clinically gone for minutes. "It felt like the older brother I never had," Josh shared softly with his counselor. "Knew every secret shame, every dream I hid." They talked about acting tough to cover insecurity. The being asked gentle questions inside his mind, helping Josh see protective walls built from early hurts. You're stronger opening up, it conveyed warmly. Go back and let people in. Josh returned softer, finally talking honestly with friends. Many find lifelong questions answered simply, yet profoundly. A grandmother wondering about suffering heard gently, so souls choose love over fear, grow compassion through challenge. No cold lecture, just deep, relatable caring. She came back comforting others with new gentleness. Even skeptics transform. A scientist met a being communicating pure knowing. Questions about universe's mysteries poured out. Answers arrived as complete intuitive understanding. No dogma required. Like downloading truth directly, he admitted, humbled. Children chat freely and trustingly. Little Sarah told her mother, "Nice light people asked if I wanted stay or go back to you and Daddy. They said you needed more bedtime stories." She chose return, hugging tighter every night. The beings never rush or pressure. Conversations feel timeless, healing old wounds with perfect insight. Many receive personal messages. Forgive yourself completely. Love more freely. Your unique work isn't finished yet, all delivered with infinite kindness and encouragement. Tonight, imagine a wise, loving being beside you now. Feel gentle, understanding, flowing in softly. Ask whatever weighs on your heart. No judgment waits, only compassion. Let those quiet answers settle peacefully as you drift into the safest, most restorative sleep. Picture flying effortlessly through peaceful skies, moving with just a thought, feeling complete freedom like the wind itself has become your friend. When young adventurer Rachel reached the light after her mountain climbing fall, left her body broken below, pain vanished and she began soaring gently above everything. No wings or effort needed, she whispered later to her rescue team during recovery, voice full of lingering wonder. I just thought upward and rose smoothly through soft clouds that parted like silk curtains. She glided over vast, luminous landscapes, dove playfully through glowing mists that tickled her light form, skimmed crystal-clear waters reflecting endless colors. Laughter bubbled up from pure, unburdened joy, every fear of heights or falling completely forgotten in that perfect moment of flight. A city office worker named Marcus, who'd always dreamed of flying as a child but never dared skydiving, experienced the same incredible freedom after his asthma crisis. No plane engines roaring, he said quietly to his family around the hospital bed. Just silent rush of air, faster when I wished excitement, slower to savor peaceful views below. He visited places from old fantasies, floating islands with waterfalls of light, vast glowing forests stretching to horizons, childhood parks perfected without litter or crowds. Many use this effortless flight to visit loved ones from above, hovering silently to send comfort unseen. One mother checked on her sleeping children below, heart overflowing with tenderness, watching their peaceful faces. Children love it with pure delight and abandon. Little Isabella giggled for weeks after revival. I flew with shiny bird friends doing loops higher than any kite. She raced light creatures over rivers that reflected rainbows perfectly. Direction comes entirely from heart's desire. Peace draws you to serene floating meadows, curiosity to new wonders appearing just ahead. No fatigue ever builds, no dizziness from height, only perfect balance and endless delight in motion. People return carrying that sense of boundless freedom into daily life, taking bolder steps toward dreams long postponed, feeling life's gravity a little lighter on their shoulders. Tonight, feel your own body growing lighter in imagination. Imagine lifting gently upward into soft, welcoming sky. No effort required, just peaceful, gliding on invisible currents of love. Let the universe carry you smoothly and joyfully into the sweetest, most restorative dreams. Imagine stepping into meadows of eternal spring, where grass stays soft forever, and every breath feels like coming home to perfect comfort. When teacher Linda reached the light after exhaustion finally overwhelmed her body, she stood in endless green fields bathed in the gentlest light imaginable. The grass reached my knees perfectly, she described softly to her concerned family visiting the hospital. Velvety and warm, bending lovingly as I walked barefoot without a single itch or prick. Wildflowers bloomed in waves of color, releasing scents that evoked happiest memories. Picnics with students, quiet evenings reading to her own children. She lay down and felt the earth cradle her completely, every tense muscle from years of standing in classrooms releasing into profound relaxation. An older gentleman named George strolled through similar meadows with his wife who'd passed a decade earlier. We picked flowers that never wilted. He smiled faintly, telling his grandchildren. She looked young again, hand in mine like our first walks together. Butterflies of pure light landed trustingly on their shoulders, wings shimmering with gentle colors. Many walk or rest hand in hand with loved ones appearing naturally. One woman strolled slowly with her childhood self, healing old insecurities through quiet, accepting presence. Another ran, laughing freely with pets long gone, grass tickling paws and toes alike in perfect play. Children tumble and explore endlessly. Little Maya told her parents wide-eyed, "The grass was super soft for cartwheels forever. Flowers giggled when I picked them and grew right back bigger." She drew endless meadows with smiling stick figures dancing among rainbow blooms. The meadows stretch infinitely, yet always feel intimately personal. Distant hills glow softly, crystal streams wind through carrying faint, harmonious songs. Ancient trees offer perfect shade without dropping leaves. Every breath fills lungs with pure, invigorating life. No harsh seasons ever change, always comfortable eternal spring, with gentle breezes and perfect temperature. Fruit trees bear perfectly ripe gifts tasting of joy. Streams offer water sweeter than any drink remembered. People return with deeper appreciation for earthly meadows and parks, lying in real grass more often, feeling faint echoes of that greater eternal comfort. Tonight, feel yourself stepping gently into meadows that bloom forever. Soft grass cushions every step. Warm light bathes you tenderly. Sweet, eternal breeze carries complete peace. Lie down if you wish. Let perfect earth hold you fully. Rest here as long as needed. This eternal spring meadow waits patiently, ready to welcome you home completely when the time comes. Listen for one of the tenderest moments many share, being told it's not your time yet. With such profound love, it transforms, returning into a beautiful gift rather than loss. When Nurse David reached the light after being trapped in a burning building during his shift, his late father appeared first with that familiar steady gaze. After strong, wordless hugs conveying years of unspoken pride, his dad placed warm hands on David's shoulders. "Son," he said gently inside David's heart, "your patients still need that calm strength only you give." No disappointment showed, only deep encouragement and love. David felt unfinished stories calling him back strongly, returned fighting harder for every breath. A young mother named Lisa heard it from a radiant being after massive bleeding nearly took her during delivery. "Your babies need their mama's songs and stories," it communicated with infinite tenderness. "Go back and hold them close a while longer." She woke, reaching instinctively for her newborns, cherishing every feeding and midnight cuddle with renewed depth. Many received the message from deceased relatives, speaking personally. A teenager met his best friend lost to cancer. "Dude, you've got more adventures and laughs waiting. Tell my mum I'm okay." delivered with familiar grin and fist bump, making return feel exciting rather than sad. Children receive it simply and trustingly. Little Tommy heard a kind voice after his accident. "Your puppy still needs walks and your dad needs help with the garden." He woke asking for his dog first, hugging family tighter. The message never feels rejecting, always wrapped in complete understanding that earthly life remains precious and meaningful too. Some negotiate briefly. "Can I stay longer?" Answer comes as loving no, with promises of future reunion when ready. Reasons always personal and encouraging, unfinished relationships to nurture, unique gifts to share, growth still unfolding, love waiting to express. Never guilt, only gentle guidance from those who see the bigger, loving picture. People return with profound, renewed purpose. Fear of death fades dramatically. Fear of unlived life grows beautifully. They hug tighter without hesitation, speak kinder words daily, chase dreams long postponed. Tonight, breathe easy, knowing any not yet message would arrive wrapped completely in deepest love. No rush or pressure, just gentle encouragement from those who care most. Rest now, trusting life's perfect timing holds you always. Feel this profound certainty settling deep within. Everything truly is all right, a knowing that quiets every doubt and brings complete trust in life's greater flow. When Patricia reached the light after her long battle with cancer, finally overwhelmed her body, understanding flooded her like warm sunlight after storm. All the worry, the fighting, it was unnecessary, she shared quietly with family in her final lucid days. I knew bone deep that everything unfolded perfectly, my illness, losses, joys, all part of one beautiful pattern woven with love. No specific explanations needed, just complete trust in divine order, easing every fear she'd carried. A grieving father named Mark felt the same after his own heart attack. Meeting his deceased daughter radiant and whole, he asked why she left so young. Answer came as pure, wordless knowing. Her soul's journey complete in that form, his continuing to learn deeper love through missing her presence. It all made perfect sense, he said quietly to his wife. No random tragedy, only love, expressed in different ways. Many describe remembering truths temporarily forgotten at birth. An anxious woman realized every fear was illusion, only love eternally real. A man carrying heavy guilt felt it dissolve completely in certainty that all forgiven always had been. Children feel it purely and beautifully. 8-year-old Ryan told his mother confidently, "Everything's okay forever, we're all safe no matter what." His nightmares stopped completely. The certainty touches every human question gently. Why suffering exists? To grow compassion through choice. Why loss? To cherish presence more deeply. Why alone sometimes? Never truly are. Connection eternal. People return profoundly less afraid of death itself, of mistakes made, of uncertain tomorrow. They stress far less over small things, trust life's flow more completely. Relationships soften beautifully, old grudges feel pointless in light of greater love. Tonight, let that deep certainty begin settling softly within you now. Feel gentle, knowing rising. Everything truly is all right. Always has been, always will be, perfectly. Your journey unfolds exactly as meant. Worries become passing clouds. Rest completely in this profound truth, as safest, most peaceful sleep holds you tenderly. Picture stepping into a library of infinite knowledge and calm, where every question finds gentle answer without effort, wisdom flowing like quiet streams. When retired Professor Samuel reached the light after his stroke, he entered a vast hall filled with soft, glowing orbs of living thought. No physical books anywhere, he described quietly to his family in final days. Just pure knowledge floating gently in air. He only had to wonder about ancient mysteries and complete understanding arrived, civilizations rising and falling in compassionate visions. Asked why his life held certain hardships, waves of insight showed every challenge as chosen, growth opportunity, viewed lovingly. A young teacher named Maya touched glowing spheres after her accident. I understood struggling students completely, she whispered to colleagues, saw their hidden pain driving behavior, felt how my small encouragements helped more than realized. She experienced art, music, science as one harmonious expression of love. Knowledge felt light and joyful, never heavy burden. Many access universal wisdom directly. A skeptical engineer asked complex questions, received intuitive solutions beyond current theory, yet feeling perfectly true. Realized how little we truly know, he admitted humbled, and how gentle truth always is. Children visit with pure curiosity. 8-year-old Lily told parents excitedly, "Big library showed why dogs wag tails when happy, and why Grandma went to pretty light early. She finished her job loving us." She read earthly books more eagerly afterward. The atmosphere radiates quiet reverence rather than stuffy silence. Beings sometimes guide softly, but mostly free, peaceful exploration. No tests or grades, just pure discovery, wrapped completely in calm understanding. People return carrying fragments, sudden creative insights, deeper everyday compassion, curiosity transformed into gentle wonder rather than anxious seeking. Tonight, let your mind relax completely into that infinite library of calm. Feel gentle knowledge waiting patiently, ready to answer whatever matters most. No struggle or rush, just peaceful understanding flowing naturally when needed. Rest easy, knowing all truth is loving and always accessible within. Imagine stepping into a library where wisdom waits quietly, not in endless shelves of books, but as living light, ready to answer whatever your soul truly seeks. When retired Professor Allen reached the light after his stroke left him motionless for minutes, he found himself in a vast space bathed in soft, welcoming glow. There were no physical volumes anywhere, he described quietly to his former students visiting his bedside, voice steady despite weakness. Just orbs of pure thought floating gently, inviting touch. He wondered about mysteries he'd debated his whole career, nature of consciousness, meaning behind human suffering, and complete understanding flowed in without effort, compassionate and clear. Suffering revealed as chosen paths for soul growth viewed lovingly. Consciousness as eternal light experiencing temporary forms. No cold academic debate, just profound, heartfelt knowing easing lifelong questions. A young mother named Maya, after her severe allergic reaction, touched similar glowing spheres. "I understood my children's hidden fears completely," she whispered to her partner through tears of relief. "Saw how my small daily encouragements helped more than I'd ever realized." She experienced art, science, spirituality as one harmonious expression of love rather than separate fields. Knowledge felt light, joyful, never overwhelming burden. Many access what some call universal records directly. A skeptical engineer asked about unsolved problems in his field, received intuitive solutions beyond current theory, yet feeling perfectly true and practical. Realized how gently truth reveals itself, he admitted humbled to colleagues. Children visit with pure, open curiosity. 8-year-old Lily told her parents excitedly after revival, "The big quiet library showed why dogs wag tails when happy and why Grandma went to pretty light early. She finished loving us here." She began reading earthly books with deeper wonder afterward. The atmosphere radiates profound reverence rather than stuffy silence. Gentle beings sometimes guide softly toward particular orbs, but mostly visitors explore freely in complete peace. No tests, no required study, just pure discovery, wrapped in calm, loving understanding. People return carrying gentle fragments, sudden creative insights appearing naturally, everyday compassion deepening without effort, curiosity transforming into quiet wonder rather than anxious seeking. Tonight, let your mind relax completely into that infinite library of calm wisdom. Feel gentle knowledge waiting patiently nearby, ready to answer whatever truly matters to your heart. No struggle or rush required, just peaceful understanding flowing naturally when needed. Rest easy, knowing all truth is loving, kind, and always gently accessible within you. Picture being guided by beings of soft radiance, tall and graceful figures of pure light, approaching slowly with kindness that feels both ancient and deeply familiar. When paramedic Daniel reached the light after his ambulance crash, 3 figures appeared gradually in the gentle glow surrounding him. They were outlined in living light, he described quietly to his stunned crew during recovery. Tall and graceful, no cartoon wings, just presence that felt like wings of light enfolding everything completely. Their gaze held infinite compassion. He felt every life saved and every call lost, seen with deep pride rather than judgment. One placed a hand of pure warmth on his chest, easing trauma carried from years on the job in gentle waves that left him renewed. A grieving mother named Sophia met a single figure after complications nearly took her. It felt feminine, yet beyond gender, Sophia whispered to her family. Radiance, soft as moonlight on calm water, eyes holding every tear I'd cried for my baby. The being cradled Sophia's spirit tenderly, communicating without words. Your child is whole, joyful, surrounded by love greater than imagination. Sophia felt her baby's light nestled safely within the greater glow, growing happily. Many recognize these figures as lifelong guardians known from quiet moments or childhood dreams. One woman instantly knew hers as the presence comforting her through early losses. Another man felt the same steady light guiding him through darkest deployments. Children described them with trusting joy. Little Eli drew detailed pictures of tall, shiny friends who sang quiet songs and promised I'd see Grandpa again. They knew my favorite toy, he added seriously. The figures approach carefully and slowly, their light adjusting perfectly to comfort rather than overwhelm. Communication flows heart to heart, deep reassurance, profound healing, gentle guidance, exactly tailored. Some show glimpses of help arriving soon in earthly life. Others simply hold sacred space for grief to release fully. People return sensing these beings remain near in daily life. Prayer transforms into direct conversation with old friends. Fear lessens dramatically. Subtle guidance arrives through clearer intuition. Tonight, feel soft, radiant beings drawing gently close around you. Let their tender light touch your brow, your heart, your weary places. Feel ancient wings of light enfolding you protectively. You are guided always, deeply loved, never truly alone. Rest safely within their gentle glow as peaceful sleep comes. Imagine the welcoming horizon glowing softly ahead, colors blending perfectly in rose-gold warmth, calling quietly with promise of home and complete belonging. When veteran Robert reached the light after his sudden fall at home, a horizon appeared across vast, peaceful plain bathed in tender light. It wasn't distant or near in ordinary ways, he described quietly to his support group, just perfectly inviting, pulsing gently with love I recognized immediately. His brother lost in war waved from its edge, young and whole again with familiar grin. A young woman named Grace saw it across calm waters after complications. Colours blended endlessly without harsh edges. She whispered to her partner, warm pinks melting into golds, breathing slowly, saying rest here when ready. Family members gathered along it, smiling encouragement, pets playing happily below. Many feel drawn gently without pressure or rush. Some approach closer, sensing deeper beauty and harmony beyond the horizon line. Children see it with pure excitement. 6-year-old Leo drew the pretty edge where happy starts forever. Everyone I miss waited waving big, he told his mother seriously. The glow adjusts perfectly, soft and comforting, never blinding. Faint, harmonious music drifts from it, air sweet with gentle promise of complete peace. Most turn back lovingly before reaching fully, carrying its warmth into earthly life. Fear of unknown dissolves, daily existence gains softer, more hopeful focus. People return, treating life as precious temporary visit, loving more openly, wasting less time on trivial worries. Tonight, let that welcoming horizon glow softly within your inner vision. Feel its tender, patient call, reaching across gentle distance. No home waits warmly, eternally ready to receive you with deepest joy when time comes. Let its gentle glow illuminate your dreams completely as you drift into safest, most peaceful sleep. Feel this profound gift quietly, being completely accepted exactly as you are right now. Every part seen clearly, every story known fully, every piece loved without condition or need for change. When recovering addict Thomas reached the light after his overdose crisis, shame rose first like dark waves, then acceptance poured in completely. A presence knew every low point, every lie, every hurt I'd caused, he shared quietly in meetings afterward, and loved me more fiercely, not less. No fixing required, just perfect, immediate welcome home. He wept from relief of finally being enough exactly as he was. A perfectionist mother named Julia felt every perceived failure as parent known completely. But the love said gently, "You are whole and beautiful," she whispered to her therapist through tears. My efforts, my stumbles, all cherished as part of perfect me. Her deceased father's light added familiar tenderness from childhood hugs. Many experienced the complete opposite of earthly judgment. One man felt hidden truths about his identity celebrated rather than condemned. Another carried lifelong regrets dissolved instantly in understanding they were necessary steps. Children feel it purely and beautifully. Little Sam beamed to his parents. The light said, "I'm good even when I make messes or get mad." He stopped trying impossibly hard to be perfect. Acceptance is active and healing. Wounds closed naturally without force. Deep self-worth blooms from within like flowers opening to sun. People return profoundly gentler with themselves and others, offering grace freely, daring authentic living without fear of rejection. Tonight, let complete acceptance begin holding you softly. Feel gentle light seeing every part of you, loving without reservation. You are enough, beautiful, whole, exactly as you are. Rest deeply cherished in this perfect embrace. Picture oceans of calm and crystal clear water, stretching endlessly, holding you with perfect gentleness and washing away every trace of earthly storm. When retired teacher Martha reached the light after nearly drowning on vacation, she stood at the edge of an endless sea shimmering with soft inner light. "The water was clearer than any tropical bay I'd visited," she recalled softly to her family, eyes distant with memory. "I could see down forever, yet no darkness, only gentle glow and tiny sparks dancing like living diamonds within." She waded in slowly, waves lapping at ankles with warmth, seeping straight into bones tired from years of standing in classrooms. Every step deeper brought waves of profound calm washing through her, carrying away decades of worry about students, grown children, quiet loneliness since losing her partner. A fisherman named Antonio, pulled unconscious from rough seas after his boat capsized, stood on the same peaceful shore. "I'd spent my life battling angry waves," he said quietly to his wife through happy tears. But these moved slow and kind, reflecting sky full of colors beyond naming. Soft roses melting into golds, breathing gently. He floated on his back, completely supported, no need to tread water or fight currents. Schools of luminous fish swam beneath in peaceful patterns, scales flashing messages of companionship rather than danger. Many immerse, fully and completely. One exhausted caregiver let water rise to shoulders, feeling every burden slide away gently like sand through open fingers. "It tasted faintly sweet when I cupped it," she whispered to support groups, "like drinking pure, perfect calm." Another grieving brother dove deep and found his siblings swimming joyfully among gentle currents, both laughing as light fish swirled around in celebration. Children play without any fear whatsoever. Little Sophia told her parents, wide-eyed after her pool accident, the big pretty ocean had no deep scary parts, just shiny water. I could breathe easy and swim forever. She played with dolphins made of pure light, surfacing, giggling with hair perfectly dry. The ocean feels deeply personal and attuned. One man found areas where waves replayed happiest memories, splashing with children at beaches, quiet sunsets with partner, each crest bringing fresh waves of joy. Another saw future moments of profound peace reflected softly on surface. No cold shocks or strong undertows, just eternal gentle rhythm, perfect temperature, perfect depth for complete safety. Some sit on smooth rocks letting waves kiss feet tenderly, others float timelessly watching light dance within depths. People return carrying that deep ocean calm into daily life. Anxiety attacks lessen dramatically, simple water sounds soothe instantly. They visit real beaches more often, standing at water's edge, feeling faint connection to greater eternal sea, waiting patiently. Tonight, picture yourself standing at that peaceful shore of endless calm. Feel warm crystal waves touch your feet tenderly, inviting you deeper without pressure. Let the ocean of perfect calm rise gently around you, holding every part completely. Breathe in its profound serenity. Let it carry you weightlessly into the softest, most deeply restorative sleep you've ever known. Picture drifting back into childhood memories, not as brief flashes, but as fully alive experiences you can step into completely, surrounded by gentle light that makes every detail feel fresh, safe, and profoundly healing. When practical accountant Robert reached the light after his unexpected heart event at his desk, he suddenly found himself in his grandmother's cozy kitchen at age 7, the comforting smell of fresh bread baking filling the air exactly as those cherished Saturday mornings. Sunlight slanted through familiar lace curtains, dust motes dancing lazily in beams. "This time," he shared quietly with his wife in recovery, voice thick with emotion she'd rarely heard, "I felt everything deeper. The absolute safety of her humming softly by the stove, the way she wiped flour on her apron before pulling me close for a hug." He helped stir the batter again, tasting raw dough from the wooden spoon when she pretended to scold him with that loving smile he'd forgotten brought such warmth. Every sense was vividly perfect, no rush to finish or leave for afternoon chores. A dedicated mother named Claire revisited endless summer evenings catching fireflies with neighborhood children. "We ran barefoot through grass still holding day's warmth," she whispered to her own grown children visiting the hospital, eyes shining with remembered wonder. Jars glowing softly on porches, parents calling names gently as stars appeared one by one. She felt the pure, uncomplicated joy of those nights, complete absence of worry about future responsibilities or grown-up burdens. Her father, gone 15 years, sat on the front steps watching with the same quiet pride, communicating silently how those simple evenings had shaped her capacity for finding happiness in ordinary moments. Many relive moments gently transformed by loving perspective. One woman returned to a lonely childhood holiday but felt only the extraordinary warmth of her mother's quiet sacrifices magnified, fear replaced by deep gratitude for love shown through hardship. Children immerse with pure delight. 9-year-old Miguel told his parents wide-eyed after revival, "I played in my old tree house forever. Dad was young again, building higher levels without work, calling him away." He stopped rushing through daily play, savoring moments more deeply. Memories feel carefully chosen for healing and renewal, building snow forts that never melted under gentle winter sun, family road trips, singing off-key to favorite radio songs, ice cream dripping down cones on hot pavement during county fairs. Colors appear brighter and more vivid, laughter rings clearer and longer, simple pleasures become profound gifts of connection. No sadness or regret taints them, only deep appreciation for foundations quietly built, resilience learned through small adventures, wonder nurtured in ordinary days, capacity for love expanded through shared joy. People return cherishing present moments with renewed intensity. They put phones down during family dinners without thinking, play longer on floors with grandchildren, notice small beauties again, fireflies blinking in summer dusk, fresh baked scents wafting from kitchens, warm grass under bare feet on perfect evenings. Life slows beautifully, ordinary days glowing with remembered magic that was always there waiting to be seen. Tonight, let a cherished childhood memory rise gently within your quiet mind. Step fully into it. Feel the textures against skin, smell familiar scents, hear laughter echoing softly. Let pure, uncomplicated joy fill every part of you completely, reminding you those moments live eternally in light, ready to hold and heal you whenever needed. Imagine hearing a loving voice speaking your name with such profound tenderness it feels like finally returning home after the longest journey, every syllable wrapped in infinite care and recognition. When firefighter Carlos reached the light after being trapped in the burning building, a voice spoke inside him, warm and clear as dawn breaking over calm water. "Carlos, my brave one," it said gently, "you are safe now, deeply known and cherished beyond all measure." The tone carried his mother's gentle lullabies from childhood nights, his first captain's proud encouragement during training, something vast and ancient, all woven together perfectly into one familiar yet greater presence. It knew every dangerous call answered, every private doubt about worthiness, every quiet act of kindness shown to frightened victims and young rookies alike. A young artist named Lena heard it after her crisis, left her clinically gone for precious minutes. "Lena, dear heart," it welcomed softly, "rest here a while in perfect peace." It felt like every encouraging teacher who'd seen her talent, every friend who'd believed in her vision, multiplied infinitely into complete understanding. When fears about her creative worth rose unbidden, the voice soothed gently, "You are creating exactly what the world needs in its own time. Trust your unique light." Many recognize loved ones' familiar tones within the greater voice. One widow heard her husband's affectionate nickname spoken with the same gentle tease that always made her smile through tears. Another man caught his grandfather's distinctive warmth, saying the childhood pet name only he ever used. Children hear it with pure, absolute trust. Little Sophie told her father with shining certainty. A nice voice knew my whole long name and said I'm special forever, no matter what happens. She fell asleep easier after that, nightmares fading completely. The voice adjusts perfectly, volume always gentle and comforting, pace unhurried and patient. It communicates far beyond ordinary words, feelings of deep intrinsic worth, complete forgiveness for every perceived shortcoming, gentle encouragement flowing directly into the heart itself. Some ask life's biggest lingering questions and receive answers as complete, compassionate knowing, wrapped lovingly in that familiar tone. It often delivers the not yet message with deepest affection possible. Go back, dear one, more beauty to paint, more lives to touch, more love waiting to express through you. Making earthly return feel like continuing a beloved, meaningful story rather than unwanted interruption. People return comforted profoundly in ordinary silence, hearing inner guidance clearer than ever before. Harsh self-talk softens naturally into kinder inner dialogue. They begin speaking to themselves with the same profound tenderness received. Tonight, quiet your mind completely and listen deeply within your heart. Let that loving voice begin speaking your name tenderly, reaching every hidden corner gently. Feel its warmth acknowledge and cherish you exactly as you are. Right now, let home's gentle call lull you completely into the safest, most peaceful sleep imaginable. Feel this beautiful moment when every worry simply releases completely, floating gently away like autumn leaves carried on a quiet, steady stream, leaving you profoundly light and free. When nurse practitioner Grace reached the light after total exhaustion, finally collapsed her body in the hospital corridor, worries rose first, like familiar shadows. Patient outcomes agonized over, family needs unmet, endless responsibilities piling higher. Then gentle release came like the softest exhale after holding breath too long. They just lifted away completely, she described softly to colleagues gathered around her bed. Not dismissed or minimized, truly seen and understood as unnecessary weight I'd carried far too long. Bills threatening stability, deep health fears for aging parents, sharp regrets over moments she'd been short-tempered with her own children, all dissolved gently in waves of warm, complete understanding. Laughter bubbled up unexpectedly from the sudden, profound freedom filling every empty space. A father named Daniel, long drowning in work stress and mounting financial pressure, felt the same profound letting go. Deadlines keeping me awake nights, money worries tightening my chest constantly, deep guilt over time missed with my daughter. Gone completely, he said quietly to his wife, hands opening in gentle demonstration. I saw them clearly for what they truly were, but from a place where only love remained eternally important. His daughter's laughing face came vividly to mind, and he knew returning meant showing up fully present from that moment forward. Many watch worries transform gently before their inner eyes. Dark, heavy clouds of fear become soft wisps of light drifting peacefully upward. Stones carried long in the chest turn to feathers floating away on gentle breeze. Some see them carried downstream completely by the river of light, or dissolved instantly in crystal clear ocean waters. Children let go most easily and beautifully. 7-year-old Ava told her mother with simple wonder and relief. All the scary thoughts went away like soap bubbles popping, one by one, until none left anywhere. Her nighttime fears stopped completely after that experience. The surrender always feels deeply invited and completely safe, never forced or rushed in any way. Any lingering resistance melts naturally and completely in the presence of overwhelming love and perfect understanding. People realize worries were temporary stories they'd told themselves repeatedly, not eternal, unchanging truths. people return profoundly lighter in both spirit and body. Chronic overthinking quiets down noticeably and peacefully. Insomnia that plagued nights eases into deep, truly restorative sleep. They begin prioritizing genuine human connection over endless tasks naturally, forgiving themselves and others much faster and more completely, finding laughter and joy return more easily to daily life. Tonight, silently name your own worries one by one if you wish to release them. Feel them lifting gently and completely from your shoulders, your chest, your mind. Watch as they dissolve entirely into surrounding soft light. Let peaceful surrender hold you completely unburdened and free. Rest deeply in the beautiful eternal truth that all is and always has been truly well. Imagine rising gently into a vast sky where stars sing in perfect harmony, their voices blending into celestial music that vibrates profound peace through every part of your being. When dedicated stargazer Elena reached the light after her severe allergic reaction closed her throat completely, ordinary darkness gave way to a night sky unlike any she'd studied through telescopes for decades. The stars weren't distant cold points, she whispered, in absolute wonder to her astronomy club friends visiting recovery, but living orbs of light, each one singing its own clear, pure note with perfect clarity. Together they formed chords of profound peace and joy that vibrated through her entire essence, like she had become part of the cosmic orchestra itself. Constellations shifted slowly in graceful, eternal dance patterns, notes rising and falling, like the gentle breathing of the universe in perfect rhythm. A night shift factory worker named Jamal, who'd never paid much attention to stars, saw the same magnificent display after collapsing from exhaustion on the job. There were millions upon millions, he said, quietly, to his family around the hospital bed, but no cold, empty darkness between them, only beautiful connection. Each star contributed its unique voice to one huge, perfectly harmonious choir, singing love directly into his heart and soul without need for translation. He recognized faint melodies from his mother's childhood lullabies, woven beautifully through the greater symphony, personalized yet completely universal in their comfort. Many float peacefully among the singing stars. One woman reached out gently and touched a nearby star. Its song temporarily became her own heartbeat, syncing perfectly in harmony. Another saw deceased loved ones appearing as bright nearby stars, adding their familiar gentle voices to the celestial chorus with perfect blending. Children hear it with pure, unfiltered delight. Little Lucas told his parents excitedly for weeks, "The stars were singing happy birthday to everyone forever and ever, and it made my whole body feel warm." He hummed entirely new melodies constantly, tunes no one in the family recognized. The music contains absolutely no discord, only perfect layers upon layers of harmony that heal deeply, uplift completely, and connect everything beautifully. Some see beautiful colors pulsing gently with each rising and falling note. Others feel cherished. Memories illuminated softly and transformed by the star song into pure light. The volume is always perfectly attuned and comforting, never overwhelming or demanding attention, always soothing rather than stimulating in any way. Many weep quietly from the sheer depth and beauty of it all. People return loving quiet nights more deeply than before, pausing often to stargaze with fresh awe and wonder, finding profound comfort under real night skies that now feel like faint, beautiful echoes of something infinitely greater, waiting patiently. Tonight, imagine yourself rising gently and peacefully into that singing, starry sky. Feel the harmonious notes wrap around you completely and tenderly, vibrating profound peace through every cell of your being. Let the celestial choir lull you tenderly and completely into the deepest, most harmonious, and truly restorative sleep you've ever known. Picture walking on clouds of gentle mist, soft and perfectly supportive beneath your feet, like stepping across the coziest, most comforting dream your heart has ever quietly wished for. When young pilot Amelia reached the light after her emergency landing failed completely, and tragically, she rose gently into a realm where solid ground gave way to endless layers of warm, glowing mist that felt more substantial than any runway she'd ever touched down on. It wasn't thin or cold like real clouds I'd flown through, she described later with quiet wonder to her grieving fellow pilots during recovery visits, but thick enough to walk on confidently, cool against my skin yet deeply comforting like steam rising from the perfect hot bath after a long flight. She stepped forward slowly and the mist parted slightly before reshaping perfectly to support her weight without any hint of falling, just complete, absolute trust in its gentle holding. She ran playfully across it, and the mist rose in joyful, swirling patterns around her legs. She jumped high with abandon, and it bounced her gently back down like the softest, most forgiving trampoline ever created from pure dream. A tired father named Carlos, who'd finally collapsed from years of relentless overwork, found himself strolling across vast, ever-shifting cloud plains that changed subtle colors softly with his changing emotions, calming, peaceful blues when relaxed, warm, gentle pinks when joy rose unexpectedly. I dreamed of walking on clouds as a kid reading storybooks, he shared quietly with his family around the hospital bed. But here it was perfectly real, cool yet warm, shifting gently to support every single movement without thought. He rolled laughing like a child again, clouds tickling his neck playfully, releasing decades of tension stored in shoulders and back from long hours. Many dance or simply rest peacefully upon the clouds. One ballerina who'd lost mobility to injury moved freely again, pirouetting gracefully as mist formed beautiful, supportive patterns beneath her feet. Another man, grieving his wife, felt her familiar presence woven gently into every swirl, shaping quiet messages of enduring love that lingered softly before dissolving into new, comforting forms. Children adore the experience with pure, boundless joy. 6-year-old Emma giggled uncontrollably for days afterward. The clouds were the biggest bouncy castles ever. I jumped super high and they always caught me soft and tickly. She drew endless pictures of stick figures playing among fluffy whites and gentle pinks. The mist glows softly from deep within, alive and gently responsive to every visitor. Some see faint rainbows forming briefly with each playful step. Others feel it massaging away exhaustion stored in muscles and bones. No wind ever chills, just perfect temperature, perfect gentle cushion beneath every movement. People return feeling profoundly lighter in spirit and step, less weighed down by daily gravity and struggle. They begin handling stress with subtle grace they can't quite explain, moving through hard days, remembering how easily the clouds held them completely. Tonight feel the ground beneath you softening gradually into welcoming gentle mist. Let clouds rise slowly to meet your weight, cool and warm together, cradling every part perfectly and completely. Walk if you wish, jump playfully, or simply rest peacefully. Let this dreamy cushion carry every single tension away gently as you relax completely into the deepest, most comforting sleep imaginable. Picture being cradled in the warmth of a universal hug, a presence enveloping you completely like the cosmos itself, decided to hold you with infinite tenderness and care. When exhausted single mother Vanessa reached the light after collapsing from years of carrying everything alone, the first sensation was this all-encompassing warmth surrounding her from every possible direction. It pressed gently, but completely, she whispered later, to her sister during quiet recovery talks. No clear beginning or end, just pure holding that knew every sleepless night worrying about bills, every doubt about being enough for my kids. The hug felt like the universe whispering, "I've got you perfectly," easing decades of solitary struggle. Her deceased mother seemed part of the greater warmth, adding familiar comfort of childhood blankets tucked tight. A veteran named Marcus, who'd carried isolation since returning home, felt the same profound embrace during clinical death. I'd forgotten what being truly held felt like, he admitted quietly in group sessions afterward. Always on guard, walls up high, but there. Total safety, no cold spots, no need to brace. Every guarded place softened as warmth seeped in, dissolving shame from actions in war. Tears came freely, cleansing rather than painful. Many compare it to ultimate maternal love, but boundless. One woman felt her miscarried babies nestled safely within the greater warmth, tiny heartbeats syncing perfectly. Another man sensed collective love of all who'd ever cared, woven seamlessly. Children sink into it naturally. Little Olivia told her father simply, "Everything hugged me super big and said welcome home, no more missing mommy at work." She became the child hugging everyone longer. The warmth pulses gently like universal heartbeat, syncing with yours. Some feel countless beings contributing, yet perfectly unified. Messages arrive, silently, cherished beyond measure, rest completely. People return more affectionate, hugging without hesitation, touching arms in conversation, offering comfort naturally. Others notice subtle glow, chronic tension eased. Tonight, let universal hug gather softly. Feel warm presence surrounding completely. Front, back, above, below. Let it seep into weary muscles, tender heart. You are held eternally. Rest fully inside warmth that never releases. Imagine viewing Earth from high above, bathed in soft light, filling your heart with overwhelming tenderness for every life below. When Teacher James reached the light during surgery, he rose gently above the planet. Earth hung like precious blue-green jewel, he described softly to students later. Oceans breathing slowly, clouds swirling peacefully, cities twinkling scattered stars. Beyond beauty, profound love for every person, conflicts tiny, borders meaningless. Wars brief shadows, kindnesses lasting light. Paramedic Sophia saw same view after accident. "I'd witnessed suffering close," she whispered. From above, understood as greater healing. Tears for patients lost, colleagues burning out, even those causing harm seeing their pain too. Many weep at fragility and interconnectedness. One woman watched sunrise creep across continents, illuminating billions unique yet united souls. Another saw storms yet felt tenderness for those beneath, knowing all passes. Children describe innocently. 7-year-old Kai told mother, "Earth pretty ballful love lights." He stopped picking fights. View shifts perspective permanently. Differences fade, shared humanity clear. Many zoom to loved ones, sending blessings. People return more connected, caring strangers, protecting planet, treasuring shared home. Fear of others lessens. Tonight, rise gently above. See Earth glowing below, every light life, wave breath. Feel tender compassion fill heart for all unfolding. Let loving view cradle you into peaceful sleep. Imagine crossing radiant bridge of light arching gracefully, each step toward deeper serenity with perfect safety. When Grandmother Evelyn reached light after stroke, she stood at shimmering bridge of pure light. Colors flowed like rainbow rivers, she smiled to family. Warm under bare feet, solid yet moving. No rails, absolute certainty. Husband waited midway, young, strong, hand outstretched with wedding day's smile. Teenager Alex crossed slowly after overdose. Each step deepened peace, he said quietly. Light sang softly underfoot, harmonizing heartbeat. Below, worries faint, dissolving shadows. Family lined sides waving encouragement. Many meet guides part way. One woman paused, embracing sister lost young. Conversation heart to heart. Everything forgiven instantly. Children skip happily. Little Emma told parents. Rainbow Bridge bounced tiny but never scary. Grandpa held hand to pretty side. Bridge spans rivers or realms, width varying, intimate or wide with many walking peacefully. Light adjusts perfectly, never blinding, always comforting. Most turned back lovingly before far end, carrying promise. Fear of crossing fades, trust transition grows. People return braver about changes, seeing bridges leading beautiful rather than endings. Tonight, step on to Bridge of Light. Feel warm radiance support every step, colors flowing gently. Walk towards serenity, loved ones waiting joyfully. Let Bridge's peace carry you into deepest sleep. Listen for tender whisper. You are safe. Spoken with certainty, banishing every shadow of fear. When young Father Ryan hemorrhaged after surgery, panic rose, then whisper came clear, warm inside chest. You are safe, beloved. Breathe gently, repeating until every cell believed. Stillborn daughter appeared briefly radiant, adding tiny voice to assurance. Woman fleeing abuse heard it during crisis. You are safe, dissolved terror, carried since childhood. She woke sleeping without triple-checking locks. Many hear upon entering light. Man battling addiction felt shame erase instantly. Another despairing heard, chose return carrying whisper as lifeline. Children trust completely. 5-year-old Luna told nurses, soft voice said safe forever, even storms. Night terrors ended. Whisper bypasses ears, reaching deepest places, sometimes repeats rhythmically like breathing until absorbed. No doubt, safety eternal. People return calmer in crisis, comforting others with quiet assurance, trusting life deeply. Tonight, let gentle whisper begin. You are safe. You are safe. Feel repetition dissolve lingering fears. Rest, held in truth, safety is essence. Always. Imagine forests where trees glow with inner light, quiet radiance guiding along paths waiting patiently for your arrival. When librarian Margaret reached light on quiet evening, she found narrow trail through ancient woods, unlike earthly. Trunks shimmered in a gold-silver, she described hushed reverence. Leaves every green shade translucent, light pouring like cathedral windows. Touched bark, smooth river stones, warmth pulsed back as tree acknowledged. Air carried pine earth, mingled sweeter distant blossoms. Birds' feathers soft light perched silently, watching kind eyes. Farther gone childhood walked ahead, turning smile beckoned deeper peaceful woods. Carpenter Luis strolled same luminous forest after workshop accident. Shaped wood whole life, he said quietly. These trees shaped comfort around perfectly. Branches arched natural cathedrals light, leaves rustling breeze whispered complete peace. Rested trunk felt toil ease, strength returning naturally. Young sun appeared running joyfully path, laughing, pointing hidden glades. Flowers opened approach together. Many discover personal clearings. Woman found grove trees, circle still pond reflecting starlight, mother sitting fallen log waiting patiently. Man followed path open meadows, edged glowing trees, childhood friends waving border. Children explore pure delight. 9-year-old Sophia told teacher excitedly. Shiny trees, new name made secret doorways, pretty places. Drew endless forests months, including smiling figures, glowing trunks. Paths wind without confusion. Up gentle hills, vistas, endless, luminous canopy, down quiet streams, light dances water scattered stars. Some see fruit hanging heavy ripe, tasting pure joy picked. Leaves release soft chimes touched, harmonizing distant gentle melodies. No darkness falls, branches snag impede, just eternal, gentle twilight, perfect walking, resting, simply being. Forest feels quietly aware, acknowledging visitor subtle, welcoming shifts, glow. People return, loving evening walks, real woods deeply, pausing under trees, feel faint echoes, connection, greater waiting beyond. Tonight, step onto own quiet path, through luminous trees, feel gentle light guiding deeper, profound peace. Let living woods hold comfort tenderly, sleep comes softly. Imagine every question you've ever carried finding its gentle, complete answer, not through complicated explanations, but in deep, quiet understanding that settles peacefully like warm light filling every hidden corner of your soul. When seeker Daniel reached the light after years of quietly searching through books and meditation, confusion simply fell away like unnecessary weight. I'd spent decades asking why suffering exists, what love truly means, where we go after this life. He shared softly with his meditation group in final gatherings, voice steady despite frailty. In that space, answers arrived as direct, compassionate knowing. Suffering has chosen opportunities for souls to grow compassion through experience, love as the only eternal reality beneath all forms, consciousness continuing brighter and freer beyond the body. No intellectual debate or doubt remained, just quiet, profound certainty easing every place he'd felt lost or incomplete. A scientist named Priya, who'd wrestled with theories of existence, felt the same profound resolution after her lab accident. "I'd built models of reality," she whispered to colleagues during recovery visits, "but their interconnectedness wasn't theory, it was lived completely." She understood cruelty's roots in temporary forgetting of oneness, kindness as natural state when remembrance returns gently. Many describe remembering truths known before earthly birth. One man saw life's hardships as perfect curriculum viewed from loving higher perspective. Another woman felt divine presence directly, no books or teachers as intermediaries, just pure personal connection filling every longing. Children grasp it with beautiful simplicity. Little Noah told his mother confidently after revival, "I know why rain helps flowers grow and why hugs fix sad hearts. Everything makes perfect, beautiful sense now." He stopped asking endless worried questions, smiling more with quiet inner knowing. Answers come perfectly timed, personal, never overwhelming or rushed. Lingering curiosities resolve later in dreams or quiet moments, fragments carried back gently. People return less restless in mind and spirit. Meditation deepens effortlessly. Chronic inner chatter quiets to spacious peace. They explain complicated ideas less often, instead embody quiet wisdom others feel without words. Tonight, let gentle understanding begin rising softly within. Feel old questions softening completely, truths settling peacefully. No need to grasp, wisdom flows lovingly when ready. Rest easy, knowing all is gently revealed in perfect time. Picture reunions that heal every old wound completely, where time stretches endlessly for mending, love flowing freely until nothing hurts anymore. When estranged brothers Mark and Steve, one living, one past, met in the light after Mark's collapse, decades of painful silence dissolved instantly. "We just looked at each other," Mark said quietly to family gathered around his bed, and felt every misunderstanding, every angry word from both sides completely. But only compassion remained. Steve, looking 30 again with mischievous grin, opened arms wide. They held each other until tears washed everything clean, talking for what felt like days about childhood dreams shared, missed chances to reconnect, unspoken love always beneath hurt. A daughter named Rachel met her mother after years of deep estrangement. "Mum knew my anger completely," Rachel whispered through tears, telling siblings, "and I felt hers, both born from fear and unmet needs." They sat in soft grass, reviewing memories gently, harsh moments transforming into mutual understanding. "I'm sorry, baby," her mom said softly. "I see clearly now. Always loved you." Every wound closed as if never there. Many experience family circles where generational pain lifts entirely. One man joined ancestors in sunlit clearing, feeling old patterns of addiction and silence dissolve in shared unconditional love. Another woman hugged father she'd never forgiven for leaving, both weeping as complete truth-healed breach in moments. Children reunite with pure innocence. Little Grace saw baby brother, now glowing toddler, running into arms, shouting name happily. "He knew me," she beamed to parents. "Said watches me play every day." Quiet sadness turned joyful peace. Healing always mutual and thorough. Miscommunications clarify instantly, heart to heart. Apologies unnecessary when understanding total. Deepest wounds, abandonment, betrayal, loss, transform into profound lessons in love's endurance. People return, reaching out to living family, speaking long unspoken truths, forgiving freely. Old grudges feel pointless in eternity's light. Hearts open wider. Tonight, picture someone you've hurt, or who hurt you, waiting with gentle light in eyes. Feel embrace beginning healing before words. Let every past wound soften now, bathed completely in understanding love. Rest deeply knowing all can mend, in time or beyond. Imagine a soft breeze carrying pure love, touching everything with tenderness like the universe itself, exhaling affection directly to your soul. When hiker Jonathan reached the light after his fall, gentle wind enveloped him completely. "It moved through me rather than around," he described softly, to rescue teams later. Warm, fragrant with unknown flowers, carrying love straight into core. Every inhale filled with complete acceptance. Exhale released old fears. Grandmother seemed to send it, familiar laugh woven through. A mother named Isabel felt it in luminous garden after complications. "It lifted my hair like tenderest fingers," she smiled to partner through tears, but deeper, caressing very soul. Recent pain, fear vanished in loving touch. Tiny sparkles danced within like countless light kisses blessing her. Breeze often arrives first, welcoming upon entering light. One man fell to raise battlefield memories completely, blowing away smoke guilt like morning fog. Another woman carrying shame childhood felt whisper forgiveness through entire being until nothing dark remained. Children played joyfully in it. 8-year-old Sam told parents excitedly, "Love wind tickled, said, perfect, just as I am." He laughed more freely, worries forgotten, always perfectly warm, gentle, never chilling. Some see as divine breath, others collective love, all beings expressed movement. Stirs flowers release sweeter scents, ripples river light beautiful patterns. Many feel guided by flow, turning softly toward greater beauty or back life needed. Messages arrive within, cherished completely. All well always has been. People return noticing real breezes more deeply, pausing feel subtle comfort wind against skin, sensing faint echoes, greater loving breath. Tonight feels soft breeze beginning now, warm, fragrant, alive, pure love. Let touch face tenderly, flow through hair, enter lungs every breath. Feel carrying tension away completely, filling spaces deepest tenderness, rest cradled gently in love's eternal wind. Picture quiet lake reflecting infinite stars, still deep, holding entire cosmos in mirror-calm surface, like perfect promise of peace. When night nurse Elena reached light after collapsing exhaustion, she stood edge vast lake, more still than glass. Stars above weren't just reflected, she whispered wonder colleagues. Lived within water too, billions, tiny lights shimmering below, brightly above. No boundary sky lake. Felt part 1, infinite whole. Husband sat nearby, smooth stones, skipping light bits, creating gentle ripples, pure joy spreading outward. Fisherman Luis saw same lake after nearly drowning. Glowed softly within, he said quietly, family. Every star twin below, connected silver threads. Waded slowly, water warm, weightless, old sorrows sinking, dissolving completely. Many sit, float peacefully upon it. One woman lay back watching constellations form personal messages, soft glowing reflections. Another saw loved ones waving happily starry boats, inviting gentle approach, calm surface. Children splash carefully first. Little Noah told mother excitedly, lake showed stars close enough touch, they tickled when did. Gazed real night skies, new wonder, pointing constellations, old friends. Lake often mirrors more than stars. Cherished memories appear, soft glowing images needed, possible futures, hope, love, deeper truths, connection. Surface heals contact, calming restless thoughts, soothing weary hearts profoundly. No waves rise unless gently invited, perfect stillness reflecting perfect inner peace. Some drink taste pure clarity, renewal. People return loving quiet water more deeply, finding meditation easier near lakes, even bathtubs, sensing faint connection, greater cosmic mirror waiting beyond. Tonight, approach own quiet lake within imagination, see infinite stars above below, feel gentle oneness completely. Let still surface reflect own inner light, back, whole, beautiful. Rest gazing eternal depths, peaceful restorative sleep, comes softly. Imagine discovering life's gentle purpose, not demanding mission but soft revelation, making every moment lived, glow, with quiet beautiful meaning. When retired mechanic Harold reached light, after quiet heart event, loving presence guided sea life, vast tapestry, woven threads light. Saw big events, he shared later. Grandson, voice rough emotion. Brighter ordinary days, fixing neighbors' cars free, teaching Ulysses engine story, staying late, help single mums tight budgets. Each act shone warmly, showing ripples never imagined. Kids growing confident, reliable transportation, families staying together hard times, small kindnesses paid forward, touching countless lives. Presence conveyed gently steady, quiet reliability, anchored many without fanfare. Young writer Sophia saw purpose bloom like light, countless pages. Doubted every story wrote, she whispered writing group, felt too small matter. But there witnessed readers finding comfort words darkest nights. One woman surviving profound grief character showed path through pain, teenager choosing hope, relating flawed resilient heroes. Presence revealed, gift holding space, others healing through honest stories. No grand fame required, just faithful creation heart. Sophia returned writing daily renewed joy. Many discover purpose woven everyday living. Stay-at-home father saw gentle presence shaping children's empathy, kindness. Janitor witnessed quiet dignity, uplifted weary hospital nights, patients, staff alike. Purpose always fits perfectly. Never too large achieve, never too small matter deeply. Children understand simply beautifully. 8-year-old Liam told parents, shining eyes, saw why here, to make people laugh, help lost bugs find way home safely. Became child rescuing insects, gently, cheering sad classmates naturally. Revelation comes wrapped deep, pride, encouragement. Some see future glimpses, current struggles, serving greater growth. Others feel past hardships, perfect preparation, quiet service ahead. People return profoundly aligned in a calling. Old dreams shift gently, make room. New emerge naturally. Worry far less external measures success. Trust daily steps more completely. Life feels deeply sacred, rather random, meaningless. Tonight, let own gentle purpose begin glowing softly within. Feel tender light touching every memory made, revealing hidden threads, beautiful meaning. You exactly where need be, living exactly matters most. Rest deeply, quiet loving assurance, sleep comes peacefully. Imagine the calm assurance that life continues in love, a profound knowing that death is merely the gentlest doorway back to greater light and deeper connection. When Evelyn, a widow who'd spent years quietly grieving her husband's sudden passing, reached the light after her own peaceful end at home, complete understanding settled over her like the softest blanket on a winter night. There was no question left unanswered. She shared through messages her daughter recorded from her final lucid days, voice steady with quiet joy. I knew, deep in my very essence, that consciousness goes on, brighter and freer than anything I'd felt in the body. She saw loved ones waiting radiant and whole, felt her own spirit untouched by age or illness. The assurance wasn't something she believed, it was direct experience, like remembering a truth she'd always carried but temporarily forgotten during earthly life. A doctor named Paul, who'd spent his career as a skeptic, dismissing patients' stories of light and peace, felt the same unshakable certainty after his heart attack. I'd offered empty comforts at bedsides, he admitted quietly to colleagues afterward. But there, I saw some of those very patients waiting peacefully, no trace of suffering. He returned, speaking honestly about what he'd glimpsed, easing fears for the dying in ways his medical training never allowed. Many describe it as falling gently into a truth known before birth. One man felt his soul expand beyond all physical limits, timeless and completely safe. Another woman watched her life from above and understood the body as temporary clothing worn for a brief, meaningful visit. Children carry the assurance with beautiful innocence. 6-year-old Ava told her parents matter-of-factly after her revival, "When bodies get tired, we go to the happy light and keep loving everyone. We're never really gone." Her fear of the dark vanished completely. She slept peacefully under blankets printed with stars. The assurance removes every trace of terror around death. No void, no judgment awaiting, just gentle continuation in boundless love. Earthly life appears as a precious but brief school, passing over as joyful graduation to deeper existence. People return profoundly unafraid of aging or loss, grieving with hope rather than despair, sad for temporary separation, yet certain of reunion. They live more fully in each moment, love more openly without holding back, waste no precious time on fear or regret. Tonight, let this calm assurance settle around you like the softest blanket. Feel gentle truth breathing within your chest. Life continues eternally in love. Your essence is safe, cherished, boundless. Rest completely in this quiet, unshakable knowing, as peaceful sleep holds you tenderly. Picture meeting figures of soft angelic light, beings of pure compassion who feel both ancient and intimately familiar, like guardians you've carried in your heart all along. When Nurse Tara flatlined after collapsing from exhaustion in the corridor, 3 figures appeared gradually in the gentle glow surrounding her. They were tall and graceful, outlined in living light, she described quietly to her stunned colleagues the next day. No cartoon wings, just presence that felt like wings of light, enfolding everything with complete safety. Their gaze held infinite compassion. She felt every heroic shift worked and private moment of doubt seen with deep pride rather than judgment. One placed a hand of pure warmth on her chest, easing trauma carried from years on the job in gentle waves that left her renewed. A grieving father named Luis met a single angelic figure after complications from surgery. It felt beyond gender yet deeply comforting, Luis whispered to his wife through tears. Radiant, soft as moonlight on calm water, eyes holding every tear I'd cried for our son. The being cradled Luis's spirit tenderly, communicating without words. Your child is whole, joyful, surrounded by love greater than imagination. Luis felt his baby's light nestled safely within the greater glow, growing happily. Many recognize these figures as lifelong guardians, known from quiet moments or childhood dreams. One woman instantly knew hers as the presence comforting her through early losses. Another man felt the same steady light guiding him through darkest deployments. Children described them with trusting joy. Little Eli drew detailed pictures of tall, shiny friends who sang quiet songs and promised I'd see Grandpa again. They knew my favorite toy, he added seriously. The figures approach carefully and slowly, their light adjusting perfectly to comfort rather than overwhelm. Communication flows heart to heart, deep reassurance, profound healing, gentle guidance exactly tailored. Some show glimpses of help arriving soon in earthly life. Others simply hold sacred space for grief to release fully. People return, sensing these beings remain near in daily life. Prayer transforms into direct conversation with old friends. Fear lessens dramatically. Subtle guidance arrives through clearer intuition. Tonight, feel soft, angelic figures drawing gently close around you. Let their tender radiance touch your brow, your heart, your weary places. Feel ancient wings of light enfolding you protectively. You are guided always, deeply loved, never truly alone. Rest safely within their gentle glow as peaceful sleep comes. Imagine knowing with absolute peace that love never ends, that every bond continues stronger and deeper beyond the veil, growing rather than diminishing. When widower Henry met his wife in the light after his fall down the stairs, he felt their 40 years together intensify into something boundless. Our love was beautiful on earth, he said quietly to his children, gathered around his hospital bed. But here it's pure, no distractions from aging bodies or daily struggles, just complete union of souls. They merged awareness briefly, feeling each other's joys and sorrows as shared eternal treasure. Separation dissolved completely, only endless connection remained. A daughter named Lily embraced her mother, lost to long illness. Mum's love felt bigger than the sky. Lily smiled through tears, telling her siblings, like our hearts grew until they completely overlapped. Every childhood memory glowed warmer in that embrace. Future support and guidance promised silently across any distance. Many witnessed love's unbreakable continuity. One man saw threads of light connecting him eternally to family, friends, even brief encounters that touched his life. Another woman felt love from ancestors she'd never met, flowing forward through her bloodline to descendants yet unborn. Children understand it with pure hearts. Little Ethan told his father confidently, "Grandpa's love didn't stop when he went to heaven, it's just huger now, like it grew wings." He waved at empty air sometimes, insisting. Grandpa waved back with a big smile. The knowledge heals grief at its root. Goodbyes transform into gentle, see you later moments. Love isn't lost or diminished. It expands infinitely. Distance becomes meaningless illusion. Separation impossible. People return, cherishing earthly relationships with fierce tenderness. Petty arguments seem pointless in eternity's light. Forgiveness flows easily and completely. They speak love openly without hesitation, Waste no time on resentment or unspoken words. Hold loved ones longer. Tonight, feel every love you've ever known gathering around you, brighter, stronger, endless in its reach. Let heart threads of light connect you eternally to those you cherish most. Love never ends. It only grows deeper and more beautiful. Rest deeply in this boundless, eternal embrace. Picture resting in a golden field under an eternal sunset, stretching endlessly in warm light that feels like the universe's gentle goodnight kiss, promising beautiful tomorrows forever. When Nurse Clara reached the light after her impossibly long shift, she stepped into a vast field of waist-high grass, glowing soft gold from within. The sun hung low on the horizon but never dipped below. She recalled softly to her stunned family, warm light bathing everything without harsh heat or glare. The grass swayed gently in a breeze, carrying faint, harmonious music, each blade tipped with tiny sparkles that caught the eternal sunset colors. Her patients, who'd passed under her care, waited in the distance, radiant and completely peaceful, waving welcome with smiles that said, "Thank you," in ways words never could. A farmer named Elias walked barefoot through the same field after his tractor accident. "Better than any harvest sunset I'd watched from my porch," he said quietly to his wife through happy tears. "Colors deeper than anything. Oranges melting slowly into roses, golds breathing like living things." The air smelled like fresh bread baking and summer rain on good soil. He lay down and felt the earth cradle him perfectly, every lifelong ache from hard labor gone completely. Many wander or rest peacefully there. One woman danced slowly alone as grass brushed her hands like loving fingers, whispering encouragement. Another sat quietly, with childhood friends long gone, watching colors shift in perfect, endless harmony across the sky. Children run joyfully through it. 9-year-old Sophia told her parents excitedly, "The forever sunset field had the prettiest sky ever, and we could play till sleepy without any dark coming." She asked constantly for golden crayons to capture what she'd seen. The light feels alive with gentle love, caressing skin softly, soothing tired eyes, filling lungs with pure peace. No hurry for night to fall. The sunset lingers eternally, promising countless, equally beautiful tomorrows. People return appreciating real sunsets more deeply, pausing on porches or in fields to watch, feeling faint echoes of that greater eternal light waiting beyond. Tonight, step gently into your own golden field. Feel warm, eternal sunset light touching your face tenderly, soft grass beneath your feet. Let endless beauty hold you completely. Rest here as long as you wish, cradled in forever's tender, loving glow. Picture hearing the laughter of joyful souls, light and free, echoing gently through the light like the happiest sound your heart has ever known. When teacher Michael reached the light after his climbing accident, the first thing that reached him was this cascade of pure laughter, bright, infectious, coming from every direction. It wasn't loud or mocking, he shared softly with his climbing partner during recovery. More like standing in a sunlit meadow where old friends share the best story ever. He turned and saw groups of radiant beings gathered in loose circles, some faces instantly familiar. His college roommate lost to illness, his grandmother with her familiar twinkle, others strangers, yet somehow deeply known. Their laughter rose and fell in perfect waves, washing through him and dissolving every trace of pain from the fall. His grandfather stood in the center of one group, eyes crinkling with old mischief, waving him over, just like calling him to Sunday dinner. A nurse named Angela heard the same joyful sound after coding in her ER. Patients I'd lost were there, she whispered to colleagues through happy tears, laughing together like they'd never known sickness. One little girl she'd held through final moments ran up, giggling, wrapping tiny arms around her legs before darting back, her peals of joy trailing like silver bells. Angela joined them, finding herself laughing too. Deep belly laughs she hadn't made since nursing school, every grief carried from hard nights lifting completely. Many describe the laughter as multidimensional, healing on contact, entering the heart directly. One veteran heard comrades sharing old jokes, voices strong and young again, inviting him until tears of release flowed. Another woman joined a circle where laughter built until she rose higher, completely unburdened. Children bring purest accounts. 7-year-old Lily giggled for days after revival. Everyone laughed the happiest laughs, like best birthday party, but forever. She said Grandpa told funny stories making light birds dance. The laughter isn't forced, always warm, inclusive, drawing you in gently. Some recognize loved ones by unique laugh first. It accompanies reunions, turning tears to smiles instantly. People return lighter, quicker to laugh daily, finding joy in small things again. Seriousness softens, playfulness returns. Tonight, let that gentle laughter begin reaching you. Hear it faintly, growing warmer, inviting. Feel your heart lighten in response. Join the joyful souls quietly within. Smile, laugh softly if it comes. Rest cradled in endless delight. Imagine the soft touch of invisible loving hands reaching gently to comfort you exactly where you need it most, conveying care deeper than any physical embrace. When Laura reached the light after nearly bleeding out following surgery, the first sensation beyond the pain was hands, warm, unseen, yet completely real, cupping her face tenderly and smoothing her hair back from her forehead. "I knew instantly I wasn't alone," she whispered later to her husband, through quiet tears of relief. "They stroked my back, the way my mother did, when fever nightmares woke me as a child, but this touch reached every frightened, exhausted place inside." No bodies were attached, just pure, loving presence expressed through gentle contact. The hands guided her forward slowly, easing panic until only profound peace remained. One rested lightly over her heart, and decades of worry about raising her children alone melted away in waves of reassurance. A veteran named James, fading on the battlefield years ago before rescue, felt strong yet infinitely tender hands lift him carefully. They held pressure where wounds bled, he shared quietly in therapy sessions long after, but also held my soul steady when terror threatened to overwhelm. His deceased comrade seemed woven into the touch, adding familiar brotherly reassurance to the greater, universal one. Many describe endless variations of this loving contact, healing hands placed on aching hearts that have carried too much grief, cradling weary spirits exhausted from life's battles, resting lightly on shoulders heavy with unspoken burdens. One woman felt tiny hands nestled in hers, like those of her miscarried babies, grown into light, communicating perfect safety and joy. Another man felt a hand on his forehead, cooling decades of burning anger until only quiet acceptance remained. Children feel it with pure trust and delight. Little Jacob told his father wide-eyed after revival, "Invisible nice hands pulled me up from the cold water and hugged me super tight until I wasn't scared anymore." He slept, cuddled with his favorite blanket afterward, smiling in his dreams. The touch is never intrusive or startling, always perfectly attuned, asking silent permission before deepening. Some feel it massaging away every trace of earthly pain, others simply holding sacred space until they're ready to move further into light. It often accompanies the gentle "not yet" message, turning them back with one final reassuring stroke across the brow or squeeze of the hand. People return profoundly more tactile in daily life, hugging loved ones longer without self-consciousness, touching a friend's arm during deep conversations, offering comfort through simple, steady presence. They begin to feel subtle touches in quiet moments afterward, perhaps a warm hand on the shoulder during grief, or gentle pressure on the back guiding a difficult decision. Tonight, let those invisible loving hands begin reaching you softly. Feel warm tenderness on your brow, your shoulder, your heart, exactly where you need comfort most. Let them smooth away every tension, hold you securely in boundless care. You are touched by love itself, always and completely. Rest deeply in caring hands that never let go. Picture glimpses of hopeful moments yet to come, gentle previews offered with loving care that fill your heart with quiet certainty and joyful anticipation for the path ahead. When young Mother Emma reached the light after severe complications in childbirth, her deceased grandmother appeared first, taking her hand with that familiar, gentle squeeze. "Let me show you something beautiful," her grandma said softly inside her mind, and scenes unfolded, not rigid predictions but warm, emotional essences of future joy. Emma saw her newborn babies grown into kind, laughing children surrounded by light she recognized as love. She felt the profound warmth of hugging future grandchildren, the deep pride of watching her daughters choose partners who cherished them completely. No specific dates or forced details, just the pure feeling of hope fulfilled, love growing deeper through years. Her grandmother smiled knowingly, communicating silently. "Keep going, dear one. It's all worth every moment." A man named Jordan, in crisis after years of addiction, saw himself older and steady, guiding others through similar darkness with quiet wisdom earned from his own journey. "I'd felt my life completely pointless," he shared quietly in recovery meetings, "but those glimpses showed people I'd helped stay clean, families reunited because I'd shared my story honestly." The gentle previews gave him strength to fight harder for return. Many received deeply personal visions, careers finally blooming after long struggle, reconciliations with estranged family members unfolding naturally over time, simple joys like quiet evenings with loved ones grown deeper through shared years. One woman saw strained sibling ties mending gently through small, consistent kindnesses. Another man watched himself old and content, surrounded by light of relationships nurtured patiently. Children see them with innocent clarity. 8-year-old Noah told his parents excitedly, "I saw me big with my own dog and everyone happy around a big table." He stopped worrying about growing up after that, trusting good things waited. The glimpses are never guarantees or demands, just hopeful potentials offered lovingly, always focusing on love's quiet triumphs rather than material success. Some see their own positive influence rippling forward through small daily choices. People return motivated yet deeply patient. Hard days feel temporary rather than defining. Hope becomes a steady companion. They begin making choices aligned with those gentle futures, speaking kinder words today, nurturing important relationships now, trusting the path even when unclear. Tonight, let soft scenes of hope begin glowing warmly within your heart. Feel future joy touching you gently now, loved ones near and laughing, purpose unfolding naturally, peace deepening with time. Trust the beautiful possibilities waiting patiently ahead. Rest held completely in hope's quiet, loving light. Imagine sinking into deep rest of perfect understanding, where every question quiets completely and your soul finally exhales into profound, renewing peace. When long-time seeker Samuel reached the light after extended illness, understanding enveloped him like the softest, warmest blanket pulled over chilled shoulders. "Everything suddenly clicked into place," he said quietly to his gathered family in his final days. Not just intellectual facts, deep, lived, knowing that all was exactly as it should be. always had been. His life's many puzzles, unexpected losses, difficult choices, periods of deep pain, revealed themselves as perfect steps in a greater dance he could now see clearly from above. No more exhausting struggle to figure it all out, just complete, soul-deep rest within truth. A woman named Maya, who'd spent decades reading spiritual books searching for answers, felt the same profound settling. "I'd collected ideas like treasures," she whispered to her book club friends, but their understanding flowed directly without any effort at all. Why we're here became clear as love experiencing itself. What love truly is revealed as the only reality. Where we go after showed as gentle return home. Doubt dissolved completely. Peace filled every corner she'd kept anxiously questioning. Many describe it as coming home to wisdom always carried within but temporarily veiled. One man understood suffering's purpose without any bitterness remaining. Another woman felt divine love directly and personally. No books or teachers as intermediaries, just pure personal connection filling every longing. Children rest in it with pure simplicity. Little Grace told her mother confidently, "Everything makes sense now, like one big warm hug from God holding all the pieces together perfectly." She stopped asking endless worried questions, just smiled more with quiet inner knowing. The rest isn't mere sleepiness, it's fully alive awareness combined with deepest rejuvenation. Thoughts slow to perfect, spacious stillness. Striving ceases entirely. Many linger contentedly in that understanding before feeling the gentle call back. People return profoundly less restless in both mind and body. Meditation deepens effortlessly. Chronic inner chatter quiets to spacious peace. They explain complicated concepts less often. Instead, embody quiet wisdom that others feel without words spoken. Tonight, let perfect understanding begin holding you softly. Feel old questions softening and releasing, answers rising gently from within. No rush, no force required. Sink completely into deep soul rest where all is known, all is well, all is held in perfect love. Let this profound exhale carry you into the most renewing peace. Picture a choir of voices singing pure peace, surrounding you completely with harmony more beautiful and healing than any music you've ever heard on earth. When musician Elena reached the light after her severe allergic reaction closed her throat completely, ordinary silence gave way to voices beginning softly all around her, layer upon layer perfectly blended, singing without need for words. It was peace itself made into sound, she described quietly to her orchestra colleagues afterward. Thousands of voices, yet somehow one unified expression, vibrating gently through every part of me. Notes rose and fell like the universe's own breathing, each tone carrying pure love directly into her heart, and healing places she'd carried tension without realizing. A factory worker named Alex, who'd never considered himself musical, heard it after collapsing from exhaustion on the job. "Every kind of song that ever comforted me," he said softly to his family around the hospital bed. "Lullabies from Mama, hymns from church, even radio tunes from happier times, all lifted higher and woven together perfectly." Colors pulsed gently with each note. His light body resonated in complete peace for the first time. Many float peacefully within the sound itself. One woman felt long-held wounds close gently with each rising note. Another man recognized loved ones' unique voices adding personal, familiar melodies to the greater celestial choir with perfect blending. Children hum along instinctively. 6-year-old Ben told his parents excitedly for weeks. Angels sang the prettiest quiet song that made my tummy feel happy and warm. He hummed entirely new melodies constantly, tunes no one in the family recognized. The choir never overwhelms or demands attention, its volume always perfectly attuned and comforting, enveloping yet leaving spacious peace. Some hear it accompanying gentle movement through gardens or along rivers of light. Messages arrive in pure tone alone. You are loved completely. You are home now. People return humming unexplained fragments of those melodies, finding deeper comfort in earthly music, singing more freely without self-consciousness. Tonight, let that choir begin faintly all around you. Feel harmonious voices of pure peace rising gently, cradling your heart completely. Let each note dissolve lingering tension, fill you with boundless love. Rest surrounded by eternal song that holds you tenderly. Imagine the gentle return to your body, not as a harsh jolt, but as a loving hand guiding you back with the warmth and peace still wrapped closely around you. When firefighter Alex was revived after minutes without pulse, he felt the pull like a dear friend's hand on his shoulder, saying softly, "There's more for you here." "I was deep in light with family," he shared quietly with his crew. But the voice was kind, no disappointment, just proud encouragement. As he drifted downward, the overwhelming love stayed with him, buffering the shock of cold air, bright lights, beeping machines. He opened his eyes to relieved faces and immediately hugged his captain longer than ever, whispering thanks he couldn't yet fully explain. A young mother named Sophia, revived after massive postpartum bleeding, described sliding back into her body like easing into warm bath water after exhaustion. "The love didn't leave me," she whispered to her partner, through tears of gratitude. "It followed gently, softening sharp pain, quieting fear about my babies." She woke, reaching instinctively for her newborn, holding him close with new depth, feeling the light's glow still lingering inside her chest. Many feel guided tenderly downward by loving hands or voices calling their names softly. One man saw his body below, then felt warm presence lowering him carefully like placing a sleeping child in bed. Another woman heard her name repeated lovingly until awareness merged back with breath and heartbeat. Children often return giggling or smiling. Little Matteo told his parents, "The light kissed me goodbye and said, 'See you later.' I wasn't scared coming back." He woke asking for extra hugs, calmer and more affectionate than before. The transition feels buffered by lingering love when the call comes. Pain returns gradually, if at all, eased by memory of perfect peace. Some feel a final embrace before full awareness shifts to earthly senses. People wake profoundly transformed, hugging family tighter without explanation, speaking softer words, fearing far less about tomorrow. Chronic anxiety often eases dramatically. Sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. They carry quiet glow into daily life that others notice without understanding why. Tonight imagine the gentle return carrying you softly into dreams. Feel loving light lowering you tenderly into rest, its glow staying close. Let profound peace linger with every breath as sleep holds you safely.